flyweight titles are on the line this Saturday at UFC 255, headlined by Davison Figueiredo versus Alex Perez, while in the co-main event, champion Valentina Shevchenko fights Jennifer Maia. UFC 255 also sees the return of Mike Perry against Tim Means, an exciting women's flyweight bout between Caitlin Chookagian and Cynthia Calvillo, and the legend Mauricio Shogun Rua returns to take on Paul Craig. And when you order UFC 255 pay-per-view on ESPN Plus, you get a chance to get 1 full year of ESPN Plus subscription for just $20. So do not wait. Sign up for ESPN Plus by clicking the link in the description and order UFC 255 pay-per-view today.
The way I've been preparing myself and mentally and everything physically is like, I'm prepared for to be comfortable under any circumstances. So I don't care whether no one's there, whether screaming fans is there, people. I got strategy to what I'm doing, and I have an idea of how it will play out already with cornermen this time, and just what's said and who's gonna react to what, and I believe I'm already playing off of that in my head. So, and another thing is that I wanted to say was that I feel like this is the first time in my life I'm getting in here 110%. When you're pushing and someone's pushing you every day and this, and you're listening to these guys all the time, you hurt yourself. So getting in the ring with no injuries is gonna feel great.
Again, people might not like this take, but I think that when you do something like that, you have a lot more to lose as a fighter. You give the power to the organization, you give the power to the UFC, and you kind of hurt fighters in a lot of ways, because now, for another fighter, they're going to put a fighter on the spot. They'll be like, well, Felder did it on 5 days notice. Why don't you do it? And I think it kind of hurts fighters in a lot of ways. And helps the UFC, and that's fine. Felder's in a different position. Felder works for the company, but I do think that I have a different perception of that whole situation. And again, it does not take away from what Paul Felder accomplished and what he did. I think it's insane. It's unbelievable. But now, Paul Felder's record sits at 17-6 now, and I think Paul Felder's skills. Not that a 17-6 record is bad. I think it's great, but I think that Paul Felder is better than what his record indicates, if that makes sense.
Might be a great fight to Saturday. Next Saturday. Look the champion here. Look the champion. Who's the weight? Years. You know what I mean? Look at the champion. The half-dressed champion.
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Start today, 21st. It's gonna be a great fight. Unbelievable fight.
Love America.
I love America. He's like a boat. He said he loves America. Que briga de Vega! UFC PI! You love to do UFC PI!
Pilih kayo. Двадцаточку, минус.
He's fought some tough dudes, but I think my resume is definitely deeper than his, and I think that's going to be a huge talking point for coming up for this fight, and I think that's going to be a huge advantage for me. You know, I think I've seen a lot more in the octagon. He's had 6 fights to date. I've had 14. You know, I do say he's had a very impressive run in terms of that he did what he was supposed to do when the UFC put those particular opponents in front of him. And I don't think every single one of them he passed with flying colors. So I like my odds. I like my chances in this, and I think he's in for a rude awakening, because I do think in his head he's probably imagining that he's going to run through my strikes and walk through everything, and I can't hurt him. And he's going to be sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken.
I think I should make a bet with Petr Yan, and if he loses, he has to wear this record
for a month of training. I mean, come on. It's not a bad look, right? It's not a bad look. I mean, look at that mug. Look at it.
Abdul Razak Alhassan was asleep for about 10 minutes. I've never seen somebody unconscious for that amount of time. He was stiff as a fucking board, and he was just wasn't moving.
Were you scared?
Wasn't fucking moving for like 10 minutes.
Were you nervous for him?
I wasn't, no. I was in shock. Like everyone was, because Abdul, he's a knockout artist himself. That's what he does. He goes out there generally in the first round and knocks people out. He didn't in his previous fight against Manuel Aziz, but that's generally what he does. So I think that made it even more shocking. But it's the fact that it was the first punch that he threw, the right hand.
Yeah,
is because he's new to the UFC. This Khaos Williams, he knocked out the knockout artist, shocking, but he didn't move, and he was stiff as a board. I'm telling you, he was like a piece of fucking wood, not moving, unconscious for like 10 minutes. It was a good knockout, but yeah, it was just the fact that he was unconscious for so long. And to be fair, the UFC, they don't focus on that, because it's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? If someone's unconscious from a punch, you know, it's not good for the sport. It's not good for the acceptance of the sport. We're not trying to put the sport back several years. You know what I mean? We're trying to progress and go forward. And it's just a sad reality. Boxing, kickboxing, Thai boxing, MMA, whatever. Knockouts happen. And that was a fucking bad one. So anyway, so there's Khaos Williams. My God. His first fight in the UFC lasted 27 seconds, knocked him out cold. This time comes in, knocks out Abdul Razak Alhassan in a co-main event, which was incredible as well.
I'm fucking coming for you!